Hello everyone, bienvenue, welcome to our session. I will be emceeing. My name is Samaa Elibyari, for those who don't know me. This session is organized by ECCD, which is the Egyptian-Canadian Coalition for Democracy. It's a political, independent, non-affiliated pan-Canadian organization. We have several chapters across the country in Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Quebec City, Hamilton, Winnipeg, Regina, Calgary, Vancouver, Kingston, and St. John's. We advocate democracy and human rights in Egypt. I would like to give you some background information to put things in context. On June 30th, 2013, exactly 1 year after Mohamed Morsi was democratically elected as president, large numbers of disenchanted people gathered in Tahrir Square, demanding the departure of Morsi. This has been widely covered by our media. 3 days later, General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, at the head of the armed forces, forcefully deposed Morsi under the pretext of responding to the call of the people. Since then, a brutal, widespread repression has gripped Egypt following a campaign to eliminate all opposition, culminating in the massacres of Rabaa and Nahda Square, where supporters of Mohamed Morsi were camping, and this happened August 14, 2013. Canada and the West are turning a blind eye with the often mentioned excuse that better achieve stability under a military dictatorship than going forward with a democratically elected government. During this session, we will probe the issue of human rights versus stability, what we have learned from a similar situation, the coup in Chile with the General Pinochet. Should we in Canada be concerned? If so, what should our government do? And we're not only talking of Harper's government, he may be here next year or not. We are talking in general about the direction we would like the Canadian government to take vis-à-vis such situation as in Egypt. What about our civil society? In other words, we will also ask you at the end of the session, what do you think we as a civil society will be doing? We have some demands to present to our government, so we will discuss them at the end. We start by this video that gives some background context.
Egypt, 1952. The army took over to cheering crowds, but democracy didn't follow. What could citizens do? Nothing, but huddle in front of radios and glean what they could from national newspapers. A joke. For 60 years, jackbooted generals made all their decisions and ransacked their treasury. What actually ruled? Poverty and ignorance. Fast forward 2011. Egyptians topple Hosni Mubarak and inspire the world. Egyptians believe democracy will prevail, but the usual tricksters find equality menaces their plans. They gather like hyenas of darkness, plotting to fail the revolution. June 14, 2012. In a single court session, 2 days before second-round presidential elections, the Supreme Constitutional Court declares the lower house unconstitutional, and with lightning speed dissolves the parliament. June 17, 2012. SCAF Constitutional Declaration. SCAF reassumes legislative authority, shackles the Constituent Assembly, prevents the President-elect from appointing a Minister of Defense or any SCAF member. June 23, 2012. Presidential election. 13 candidates run. 10 find themselves ousted for various reasons. 2 candidates make it to round 2. Dr. Morsi, the Muslim Brotherhood candidate, Army General Shafiq, the last PM of Mubarak era. Morsi wins. Divide and conquer, but politics creates strange bedfellows. The power exchange leaves leftists and liberals fuming. Revolutionary youth beat their breasts at a stolen revolution. Churches caution their flocks. Corrupted businessmen shake in their boots. SCAF plots to use them all like pawns to broker their next power grab. August 12, 2012. Morsi topples SCAF and outmaneuvers them. He cancels SCAF's constitutional declaration and assumes legislative power until the Constituent Assembly drafts a new constitution. He swears former head of military intelligence, General Sisi, in as the Minister of Defense. December 15, 2012. Constitution referendum. The public votes on Egypt's draft constitution. More than 65% say yes, and Egypt adopts it officially. The Shura Council assumes legislative power, but only until the newly elected parliament forms a government under the new constitution. So the chaos begins. Our political bedfellows join forces to demonize Morsi and topple him. Officials use private media to spread groundless gossip and slander that swells by the day. Army and police protect anti-Morsi crowds in the street. Arsonists set fire to FJP offices countrywide. Chaos reigns. June 30th. Anti-Morsi demonstrations in Tahrir Square, Presidential Palace, and different cities. Pro-Morsi demonstrations at Rabaa El Adawiya Square. July 3rd. Sisi topples Morsi. Shura Council, Parliament Upper House, dissolved. Head of Constitutional Court appointed president. Pro-Morsi supporters decide to continue sit-in. New sit-in by pro-Morsi supporters at Nada Square. Minutes after the military coup statement, channels and newspapers considered pro-Morsi shutdown. Leaders of Muslim Brotherhood and their allies arrested. Morsi himself detained in an unknown place until now. Egyptians hotly debated one question: revolution or a coup? Oh, it's a coup. Sisi massacres. Nada Square, July 3rd, 23 killed. Republican Guard Club, July 8th, at least 56 killed. Ramsey Square, July 10th, at least 10 killed. Mansoura City, July 20th, 3 women and 7 men killed. Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, July 27th, at least 72 killed. Rabaa Massacre, August 14th. Rabaa and Nada sit-ins attacked. At least 1,000 killed, thousands wounded, and thousands arrested. More massacres. Ramsey Square, August 16th, 103 killed. Abu Zabal Prison, August 18th. 38 killed after tear gas bomb thrown into deportation car carrying detained demonstrators. Near Tahrir Square, October 6th, at least 51 killed. So now we have a new pharaoh in the making. The outcome? Thousands killed in the biggest massacre in Egyptian modern history. Tens of thousands persecuted. Return to police state. UAE and Saudi donate billions to support the coup. A complicit international community turns its head, while the Egyptian dream of freedom is at stake. How much bloodshed will it take? When will you step forward?
Well, this may be used to some of you, and the difficulty is that the media here doesn't cover the events in Egypt. It doesn't have the importance, quote unquote, of what happens in Syria, and this is why we salute those who talk about it, who write about it, who are aware of the critical situation in Egypt.